So I'm standing in the middle of the dance floor, waiting for my niece to throw the bouquet. I don't want to be here. But my mom nudged me and said, "Go on, get up there, it'll do you good." I'm surrounded by the bridesmaids and a gaggle of gorgeous 20-year-olds, all a good 4 inches taller than me. I feel like I'm in an episode of Sex and the City. The bride hucks the bouquet, and I half-heartedly stick my arm out, and smack! The bouquet lands in my hand. I caught the bouquet, I caught the bouquet. I'm quite excited about this. Everyone is quite excited. In fact, a little too happy, Mom. And then the DJ invites the guy who caught the garter, Jamie, a dashing young 22-year-old, to dance with the bouquet lady, me, a middle-aged woman known to over half the room as Aunt Bev, the singer. Jamie walks over, hello. He looks at me, gives me a full body once up, once down, turns to his friends and says, "Ich." Did he really just do that? We have to dance. I'm Aunt Bev. It's only one song, I offer. And I'm thinking, you entitled little piece of, come on, Jamie, dance with her. He walks over, plops his arms on my shoulders, and we dance like cement statues. Everyone is watching. And I'm thinking, I'm going to make you talk. So, how do you know the groom? Nothing. Well, I'm Lisa's Aunt Bev. Nothing. And I know we've got another 4 minutes because I've sung this song at 6 weddings. Where do you work? In that instance, he pulls me in close, too close, nose to nose. I work at the dollar store. Everything's $1. And then he suddenly bends me into an impromptu dip. And I'm not sure if he doesn't know his own strength or he doesn't calculate my weight because he can't, in fact, hold me. And he drops me onto the floor, boom, hard. And somehow in this impulsive move, he has managed to grab the back of my dress. So it rides up past my waist. I am spread eagle. My legs, my pantyhose, my Spanx, everything that was wrangled under there, wide open for the world to see. Jamie's gone. My brother-in-laws rush over and reassemble me. Didn't see that coming. Where's the bar? And then the best man approaches. So, you met Jamie. He's my brother. Cool. Yeah, we all kind of take care of him. Pardon me? Well, you know, he's on the spectrum. I didn't know. I feel terrible. I walk over to Jamie's table. Jamie, that dance didn't go so well, did it? Maybe we should try it again? Nothing. Well, I'm sitting right over there if you want to give it another shot. I walk back to my table. And a few moments later, Jamie is standing beside me. Aunt Bev, do you want to dance? Yes. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, here she comes. Aunt Bev, do you have a boyfriend? No, Jamie, I don't have a boyfriend. Do you want to go to a movie with me tomorrow? Oh, Jamie, I'm flying back to Vancouver tomorrow. I would love to, but I can't. But my dance card's free for the rest of the night. Jamie and I boogie our butts off for the next 4 songs. Do, 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 she's a man-eater, oh. True story. Now, I tell you this to demonstrate what just happened in this room. I told you a story, and we all went somewhere together. We started off as a bunch of random individuals, and after, 4 minutes, we were all connected. Some of you laughed, some of you gasped. Maybe you were reminded of a time that you misjudged someone or had an embarrassing moment. Some of you might still be back on the dance floor with your legs in the air, but we all went somewhere. I've been a professional actor and storyteller for the last 40 years, and I have seen this time and time again from the stage. Audiences coming together through story. In fact, storytelling is so powerful that I use it when I'm teaching my beginning acting classes for adults to bring my students together. The first class, everyone shows up a little scared, apprehensive, and my job is to create a safe environment so everyone can open up and be vulnerable, which can be terrifying. There's a quote from Patty Dye, author of Life is a Verb, and she says, "The shortest distance between two people is a story." So we use this to break the ice. I give my students a theme, a time maybe that they took a risk or broke something, and they're invited to tell a true story from their lives. Now, some people panic and say, "I don't have anything, nothing ever happens to me, I'm boring." But eventually, someone volunteers, and we listen. Heads nod, shoulders drop, they're breathing. People are reminded of a time that they took a risk, that they took a music lesson, or spoke up for themselves, or fell off a trampoline. Barriers are removed as we go on a journey together. We close that distance between us as strangers and open up a foundation of connection, real connection, heart to heart, not just where do you live, what do you do for a living, where do you work? And at the end of 12 weeks, we have all fallen in love with each other. Now, the wonderful thing is, this can happen anywhere. At your kitchen table, at a campfire, the lunchroom, the grocery store lineup, in the parking lot, in an Uber. And we all need this right now. We live in this increasingly disconnected world where feelings of loneliness and isolation are rampant. We're on our phones, we have our heads in our computers, we forget to look up and talk to each other, see facial expressions, hear vocal inflections, body language, really feel each other. Writer P.J. Manny says, "Our brains ignite when we listen to a story. Hearing a story as opposed to seeing a story has a deeper impact because we use our own personal experiences and imagination to build the images. We become the co-creators of the story. This makes it more intimate, relatable, and impacts the connection." Pulitzer Prize winner Jane Smiley says, "If you regularly place yourself in the shoes of different characters and experience empathy for them, this recurring behavior cannot help but open up your view of the world." Now, I know this to be true. Growing up, I was really shy. As a kid and a teenager, I didn't trust my voice. I didn't have an opinion about anything. I was just scared, and I sat and watched everybody. But I was really curious. Why is she being raised by her grandparents? Where's her mom and dad? Who's that foreign man that lives with them? Why is he living on the street? Doesn't he have a home? And my parents, like most parents of my generation, their generation would say, "It's none of my business, and I should mind my manners," which is the polite thing to do. But every chance I could, even though I wasn't supposed to, I would ask, why is it this way? What's the story? And you know what? More often than not, people were willing to share, and we had a heart-to-heart connection. And I learned a lot. This gave me confidence. And years later, I wrote and toured 2 one-woman shows based on stories of my life. I found my voice through storytelling. Now, we all have this tool available to us. You don't have to write a show. But you also don't need to buy anything. You don't need instructions. We just need to talk to each other more. Recently, I was working on a film, and we were shooting deep in the woods, and there was no Wi-Fi. What? No Wi-Fi? People spent the whole morning going, "Come on, come on." Eventually, we were forced to actually talk to each other. And I heard more behind-the-scenes stories that I never would have heard if we had our heads buried in our phones as usual. Did you know that Gene Hackman went? No, I shouldn't. And it's wonderful when it's a surprise. A couple of weeks ago, I was having an ick moment, and I was standing at the crosswalk waiting to cross the lights, and this elderly woman said to me, "Oh, I love your purse. Where did you get it?" And I told her my daughter bought it for me. And she said, "Oh," and she went on to tell me the story of how her daughter is helping her pack up the family home and move to a retirement home. And as she was leaving, she looked at me and said, "Aren't daughters the best?" She completely changed my mood. She opened up my heart and connected me. Like that. So what would happen at your next family gathering or get-together if you just brought yourself and your stories and you left your contact list and the internet at home? How great would it be for the next generation if they could hear more of your history, the good, the bad, and the funny? So I invite you to start a new tradition or rekindle an old one at your next gathering. Give out a theme over the appetizers, a time that someone showed you an act of kindness. Storytelling is a win-win. It's a gift that you give to others and to yourself. So let's soften this epidemic of loneliness and connect. Tell a story to the person beside you. You might just make a new friend or gain a new perspective. Or give them the best belly laugh they've had in a long time. Thank you.